Five Finger Death Punch. Now, Five Finger Death Punch is a very interesting band, a very different band. And it's also a band that I weirdly got into at a certain point in my life. Thanks to my brother-in-law, who was, way more into rock and heavy metal and new metal and, all that kind of stuff. He was way more into that, and he sort of introduced me to Five Finger Death Punch. And yeah, basically Five Finger Death Punch, a lot of their music, not all of it of course, but a lot of their music is based on a lot of anger and frustration and, being fed up at the world and people and yada yada blah blah blah. It's basically, a lot of their music is about being angry at something or someone, being fed up at someone or something, being frustrated at something or someone, and that's basically a lot of what a lot of their music comes down to. And honestly, I kind of like that. I always kind of like that. It's a good band to listen to when you're, angry. When you're angry at something or someone. When you're upset at something or someone. When you're frustrated at something or someone. When you're fed up. It's a good band to just listen to and, rage out to and jam out to. It's a good band to listen to while you're angry, so you can just vent out some of that, bottled up anger and frustration. Whether it be, listening to one of their songs while punching a fucking pillow or screaming into a pillow, or listening to one of their songs out in the woods by yourself and punching trees, or anything else like that. It's a good band to, vent. Vent out all this anger and frustration and everything. But unfortunately, because of that, a lot of this band and a lot of their music attracts a certain kind of person or a certain kind of people. Basically it attracts the r/I'm very badass type of person or type of people. You know what I'm talking about. People who try to be as badass as they can, or try way too hard to be badass, try way too hard to be tough and cool, and are usually always fucking so angry and violent. They always have a weird fucking obsession with skulls and the Punisher logo and weaponry and guns and yeah. Those type of people. The angry asshole type of person. The unhinged, angry, idiotic asshole type of people. That band attracts them like flies. Unfortunately. And you have to deal with that because a lot of their fans, not everyone, of course, but a fair portion of their fans are kind of like that, or those type of people. And it's hard to be a fan of theirs and not be associated with those type of people. It's kind of hard. So sometimes you just kind of just listen to them at intervals. Don't completely listen to them all the time, and don't engorge yourself into the fucking fandom, because then you'll be surrounded by fucking angry, I'm very badass assholes. And it's just, or maybe you'll even be assumed as one of those people as well by other people. And it's just, yeah, it's unfortunate, but still, they're a good band. They're a great band. You know, they're a great band to rage out to and, you know, rock out to and headbang to. And I love them for that. I love, how angry they can be, how angry some of their music is, and, you know, and how, I guess, aggressive and everything it can be too, I love that because it's perfect for, those kind of moments where you just want to rage, you just want to be angry at something and scream at something, or scream into the void, or punch a fucking tree or something. It's perfect for that. And I love them for that. But, yeah.